So, what did you find out from your short trip down to the underground Avalonia? It's dark down there. It gets better as you further go down. We need adjustable light. We need to be able to see 360 degrees around us, not just point the headlight forward. Looks like you need to bring more tools to get yourself out if you get stuck. What about monsters? Was there anything that tried to attack you? We haven't seen any. Haha, underground Avalonia is full of monsters. Everything moving will try to eat you alive. So fuel, communication, defense, navigation, anything else we need to solve? Looks like at least the skiff is a success. Yes, installing the extra balloon was a really good idea. Underground Avalonia is a 360 degrees open space. There is no guarantee that there will be Earth beneath us. We need some kind of a mapping strategy. Oh, one more problem. People. People? Yeah, we need to collect people. A pilot, a navigator, a defense strategist. I'm going to bring Gabe next time with us. He knows a thing or two about fighting monsters. Can we get the Clade to come with us next time? You want to play? Is it a board game? It's called Primal Outpost. It's a fantasy role-playing card game. Is it hard to play? Well, have you played other role-playing card games or board games before? Is it like Monopoly or Scrabble or chess? Well, yes and no. It's a board game you can play with cards. I don't have any cards. I got a lot. You can take some cards here. There are just too many cards. I don't know what any of these cards mean. The objective is to build a working civilization. Okay, how is that defined? A working civilization. Dear Fairy Godmother, many years ago, I visited the emergency ward for the first time, not as a patient, but to accompany someone else. I had no idea how to navigate the healthcare system. Nobody in the family was ever sick enough to use the healthcare system, but there's always the first time. This was before the hospital had the renovation and the expansion. The hospital back then was so much smaller than now. At the time, the government wanted to streamline the healthcare system by building one mega-sized super hospital that can serve everybody within the region. Then one general hospital was shut down. Another children's hospital was shut down. Little did I know, we were going to wait for 10 hours to see a doctor. I almost passed out at the end, out of exhaustion. I got a pledge from Queen Aurora and King Philip for building the airship. But there's a problem. Uh-oh, what is it? They want to build the shop in Aurora. Well, if they are paying for it, then what's the problem? They want the airship to be built by their mechanics. Uh-oh. Yes, my point exactly. They don't have any mechanic who can build an airship, especially not in its entirety. And there's more? I can't remember if there was even a triage nurse at the time. It looked more like a first-come, first-served model. It was a chaos at the waiting room, but what was so bizarre at the time was how the doctor would come into the waiting room every 3 hours and yelled at top of his lung telling the patient to go home. Anyone with cold and flu symptoms should just go home and wait it out at home. Emergency is not for trivial sickness like cold and flu. Nobody left, everybody stayed. But again, 3 hours later, the doctor would come out and try to clear out the waiting room by screaming at the top of his lung, if all you useless patients just went home, the emergency ward wouldn't be so overflowing with patients. That was the most bizarre logic I ever heard. Maleficent vowed to stop it from happening. Oh. Maleficent thinks the airships are being built to conquer the Forest of Moor. Uh-oh. Yeah, exactly. So, now what? Fast forward to now. A few weeks ago, I was watching the news And the news anchor was interviewing an emergency doctor asking, how can we solve this problem of insane waiting time at the emergency room? We still have not solved this problem after all these years. The doctor said the same thing. Emergency is for truly emergency patients. No one should come to the emergency unless they are minutes away from dying. Then there wouldn't be so many people. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing has changed.
Oh, you're playing that nonsensical game? It's called Primal Outpost. I don't get it. That's because you're always trying to kill and destroy everything. Monsters are called monsters because they are monsters. If they were useful, they would be called something else. I don't know why this game is so popular, but I would start by changing the objective of the game, which would be destroy all monsters.
These emergency doctors think they are some kind of specialist doctors who only see patients with referrals. No, the emergency doctors are the first point of contact doctors. They are supposed to serve anyone and everyone who walks into the hospital, no matter what the symptoms are. Clearly, the patients arrived at the emergency because they felt like it was an emergency.
Oh, that game! I would start by changing how Explorer card works. Exploration ruined this family. I want that card gone. You can't just destroy a card because you don't like something.
Okay, looks like maybe this is a conversation I should excuse myself from.
No, stay. I would love to show you how this game is played.
Okay.
Each card is hexagon in shape. They are interlocking pieces. The player who collects the most number of trade routes without getting destroyed by monsters wins.
Can each player attack the others?
Yes, but if there are only 2 players and if you attack the other player, then who would you trade with?
The emergency doctors said the solution is more family doctors. Most of these patients could be taken care of by family doctors. It doesn't seem like these emergency doctors have any idea what's happening out in the community. The lineup at the walk-in clinics are about 5 hours too. You pick which one you want. 10 hours at the emergency or 5 hours at the walk-in clinic. You have a point. So if there are 3 players, then can we attack the 3rd player? Keep the one as a trading partner and attack the other one.
I suppose that is possible. Take over all of their resources and trade routes.
Okay, so how do I attack?
Attacking the other player is not the objective of the game.
Yes, but you said it is possible. I need to know how somebody could attack me so I don't get attacked.
You do it through monsters. You trap the player by surrounding the town with monsters. So you can also capture the monsters and trade them too. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't get this game. Why would you try to capture a monster and then trade? They need to be destroyed.
I would choose the emergency word because the doctors had access to better equipment and centrally located specialists. Most of the time, the doctors at the walk-in clinics say they don't know anything. They need further testing, but the test results would come back maybe a week later. In the end, if it's serious, we would be sent to the emergency anyway, so why bother with the walk-in clinic? They also seem to know it's nearly impossible to find a family doctor, especially back then. Interesting. Are they all Mrs. Clade? She was a pilot. Not just any pilot, it looks like she was a stunt pilot. How does someone become a stunt pilot? I'm not sure. She must have flown a lot of airships. Oh, all kinds. I sometimes still wonder how some of those airships flew. How did you become a stunt pilot? Looking back, that hospital visit was the start of something much more serious. But the doctors did not try to make us understand what this could turn into. They were too busy processing the insane number of patients at the waiting room that they just want to get through as quickly as they can. Those doctors should have said something. They should have tried to make us understand that we need to seek help. They didn't. I always wanted to fly, but I think those airships found me. That's the only way I could explain it. Which airship was your favorite? Well, I have flown so many, I can't remember. I loved them all. How did you become a farmer then? Why did you quit flying? Well, most airships are grounded now. There is no pan though, but I found a man who replaced my love for those airships. If you found yourself another prototype airship, would you fly it? If it's meant to fly, then I will make it fly. I wonder if the healthcare system was more accessible with doctors who could explain things better and doctors who weren't so passive-aggressive about everything. I wonder if things could have turned out differently. I just keep thinking back, wondering, had I knew more with the foresight of hindsight, could I have changed the trajectory of the eventual outcome? Interesting. I would rate this game as maybe intermediate to advanced. It's definitely not a game for beginners.
You want to play? More the merrier.
It has a high learning curve, but I can see why someone who really gets into the game will totally get into this game. It requires a lot of strategy. These cards look different. While I was sitting at the waiting room, yet again, this time, the wait was about 5 hours. The hospital expanded enormously since then. One more mega hospital was built too. One more mega-sized children's hospital opened. There was a triage nurse at the door. There was no emergency doctor who came out every 3 hours screaming at the patient. The waiting room got bigger. There was a 24 hours cafe that stayed open all day so I could find something to eat and drink. Things clearly changed, and yet still many problems remained unchanged.
Oh, they're the special collector's edition. I'm still missing a few. Twice a year, a special collection comes out, and that really adds interesting cards into the game.
Like what?
Like this one, Blackout.
Whoa! That's too powerful, isn't it? Is that like wiping out the opponent with energy starvation? It's a type of a monster card. I'm kind of interested in this game. I want to start collecting my own cards. Yeah, me too. Where do I get one of these decks of cards?
There are 3 beginner's decks, blue, gray, and black. I started with the blue deck.
Cool. Let's go get the decks.